Wrestling Under the Influence, and we're drinking something from Melvin Brewing. It's called Killer Bees, and you can see B. Brian Blair jumping Jim Brunzell, the LJN versions behind me. Of course, the tag team of the 80s, the Killer Bees. I'm not going to focus this episode on them, but I am going to talk about tag team wrestling. And when it comes to tag teams of that era of WWF wrestling, Killer Bees were really good, and they never won the WWF Tag Team Championships. However, were they the best to never win? No, of course not. They had some great matches and some enjoyable opponents. The Hart Foundation, very specifically, Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov. You know, that 80s era, again, was a magical time, I thought, for tag team wrestling. I loved that era. The British Bulldogs, though, were my favorite tag team. Now, if we're going to go tag teams that never won the gold, who are your favorites? I got to put the Rockers in consideration. I know they technically won, but it really never happened kind of scenario. So I'm going to put the Rockers up in the regards of tag teams to never win the tag team titles. I'm going to put the Fabulous Rougeau brothers. When they turned heel and went with Jimmy Hart, I thought that was a great combination. And I'm also going to put, this might get some negativity, but the Young Stallions, Paul Roma and Jimmy Powers, I thought a great duo. And I really thought at one time they were going to push them and go for the gold. But let's check this out. Again, it is a 5% alcohol by volume. It is a honey golden blonde ale. So let's take a look here in our Stone Cold Steve Austin glass as we do the pour like we like to do here on Wrestling Under the Influence. I picked this up, by the way, at a place called Beer and Sauces in St. Louis, Missouri. Now, I should let you know that Melvin Brewing Company, and I have to cheat here and look here. This is in Alpine, Wyoming. Melvin Brewing out of Alpine, Wyoming is where this comes to us from. And again, it's a honey ale, golden, and you can see they're very clear, very, very clear. Let's give it a taste. You know, sometimes I feel like when they add a honey to a beer, I've been hit or miss with honey beers, and this is going to be kind of a miss. I'm going to give it a kick out. I'm going to give it a 2 count. It's going to kick out. So it's one of those that I may go back to and try again, but I may let it go. But it's definitely not bad. I could see this being a great summer beer, sitting around maybe gearing up and watching SummerSlam and some old WWE matches on the WWE Network. But again, it's not horrible, it's not terrible, but we'll bring these guys into, with their namesake, the Killer Bee beer by Melvin Brewing out of Alpine, Wyoming. Cheers, and we'll talk again soon.